reflections. We see so many objects around us on the way to school. We see things like buses, cars, cycles, trees, animals, and sometimes flowers. How do you think we see objects? Think think of the same place at the light. There, if it were completely dark, what will you see? Suppose you go inside a completely dark room. Are you able to see any object in the room? But when you light a candle or torch, you can see the object present in the room. Is not it? Without light, things cannot be seen. Light helps us see object. The torch bulb is an object that gives out light of its own. The sun is another familiar object that gives its own light. During the day, its light allows us to see object like the sun that give our or emit light of their own are called luminous object. What about objects like a chairs, a paintings, or a shoes? We see these when light from a luminous object like the sun or torch or an electric light falls on these and then travels towards our eyes. Transparent objects and the translucent object. Recall our grouping object as opaque, transparent and translucent in chapter. If we cannot see through an object at all, it's an aqueous object. If you are able to see clearly through an object, it's allowing light to pass through it and transparent. There are some objects through which we can see but not very clearly. Such objects are known as a translucent. Look around yourself and collect as a many objects as you can: an eraser, plastic scale, pen, pencil, notebook, single sheet of paper, tracing paper, or piece of cloth. Try to look at something far away through each of these objects. Is light from a far away object able to travel to your eyes through any of the objects? Record your observation in a table as shown in table 8.3. We see that a given object of materials could be transparent and translucent or opaque depending on whether it's allow light to pass through it completely, partially, or not at all. What exactly are shadows? Now, one by one, hold each of these opaque objects in the sunlight, slightly above the ground. What do you see on the ground? You know that the dark patches formed by each on the ground is due to the shadow. Sometimes you can identify the object by looking at its shadows. Spread a sheet of paper on the ground. Hold a familiar of your object at some height so that its shadow is formed on the sheet of paper on the ground. Ask one of your friends to draw the outline of shadow while you are holding the object. Draw outline of the shadows of other object in a similar way. Now ask some other friends to identify the object from these outlines of shadow. How many objects are they able to identify correctly? Do you observe your shadows in a dark room or at night when there is no light? Do you observe a shadows when there is just a source of light and nothing else in a room? It seems we need a source of light and an opaque object to see a shadow. Is there anything else required? This is an activity that you will have to do in the dark. In the evening, go out in open ground with a few friends. Take a torch and a large sheet of cardboard with you. Hold the torch close the ground and shine in upward so that its light fall on your friend's face. You now have a source of light that is falling on the opaque object. If there were no trees, building, or any other object behind your friends, would you see the shadows of your friends' heads? This does not mean that there is no shadow after all. The light from the torch is not able to pass through his body to other side. Now ask another friend to hold the cardboard sheet behind your friends. Is the shadow now seen on the cardboard sheet? Thus the shadow can be seen only on a screen, the ground wall of room. A building or other such surface act as a screen for the shadows you observe in everyday life. Shadows give us some information about shape of objects. Sometimes shadows can also mislead us about the shape of object. There are a few shadows that we can create with our hands and make believe that they are shadows of different animals. Have fun. Place a chair in the school ground on a sunny day. What do you observe from the shadows of the chair? Does the shadows give an accurate picture of the shape of the chair? If the chair is turned around a little, how does the shape of the shadows changes? Take a thin notebook and look at its shadow. Then take a rectangle box and look at its shadows. Do the two shadows seem to have a similar shapes? Take a flowers or other object of the different color and look at their shadows. A red rose is a yellow rose, for instance. Do the shadows look different in color when the colors of object are different? Take a long box and long its shadows on the ground. When you move the box around, you may see that the size of shadows changes. When is the shadows of the box the shortest? When the long side of the box is pointed towards the sun, or when the short side is pointing towards the sun? Let us use things long box to prepare a simple camera. A phenol camera. You might think that we need a lot of stuff to make a camera. Not really, if we just wish to make a simple pinhole camera. Activity 5. Take two boxes of cardboard such that one can slide into another with no gap in between them. Cut open one side of each box on the opposite face of the largest box. Make a small hole in the middle. Fill 8.5 in the smaller box. Cut out from the middle a square with a side of about 5 to 6 cm. Cover this open square in the box with a tracing paper, translucent screen. Slide the smaller box inside the largest one with the hole in such a way that the side with the tracing paper inside. Your pinhole camera is ready for use. Holding the pinhole camera, look through the open face of the smaller box. You should use a piece of black cloth to cover your hand and a pinhole camera. Now try to look at some distant object like a tree, a building through the pinhole camera. Make sure that the object you wish to look at through your pinhole camera are in bright sunshine. Move the smaller box forward or backward till you get a pictures on the tracing paper. Passed at the other end. Are these phenol images different from their shadows? Look your phenol camera at the vehicles and people moving on the road in bright sunlight. Do the pictures seen in the camera show the color of the object on the other side? Are these the image erect or the upside down? Surprise, surprise. Let us now image the sun with our phenol camera. We need a slightly different setup for this. We just need a large sheet of cardboard with a small phenol in the middle. Hold the sheet up in the sun and let in the shadows fall or clear area. Do you see the small circular image of the sun in the middle of the shadows of the cardboard sheet? Look at this phenol image of the sun. When less is visible from your locations, adjust your phenol and the screen to get a clear image. Before the ellipse is to the car, look at the image as the ellipse begins. You will notice a path of the image of sun gradually becoming darker as the ellipse started. Never ever look directly at the sun. That could be extremely harmful for the eyes. There is an interesting camera in nature. Sometimes when we pass under trees covered with a large number of leaves, we notice a small patches of sunlight under it. These circular images are in fact phenol image of the sun. The gaps between the leaves act as a phenol. These gaps are a kind of irregular shapes, but we can see circular image of the sun. Try to locate image of the a natural phenol camera, phenol of the images of the sun under tree. Sun when a ellipse occurs next, that could be so much fun. Bojo has this thought: we see the upside down image of people on the road with our phenol camera. What about the image of the sun? Did we then notice them to be upside down or anything like that? Pili has another thought: surely all these results that we are seeing, formation of the shadows and phenol images, are possible only if a light moves in a straight path. Activity 6. Let us use a pipe or long rubber tubes, light candle and fix it on a table at one end of the room. Now standing at the other end of the room, look at the candles through the pipe. Is the candles visible? Bend the pipe a little while you are looking at the candles. Is the candle visible now? Turn the pipe a little to your right or left. Can you see the candles now? What do you conclude from this? This suggests that light travels along a straight line. Is not it? That is why when a big object obstruct it, shadows form. Mirror and reflections. We all use a mirror at home. You look into the mirror and see your own face inside the mirror. What you see in the reflections of your face in the mirror, we also see the reflections of other objects that are in front of the mirror. Sometimes we see reflection of trees, buildings and other objects in the water of the pond or lakes. This activity should be done at a night or in dark room. Ask one of your friends to hold a mirror in her hand at one corner of the room. Stand at another corner with a torch in your hands. Cover the glass of the torch with your fingers and switch it on. Adjust your fingers with a small gap between them so that you can get a beam of light. Direct the beam of the torch light into the mirror that your friend is holding. Do you see a patches of light on the other side now? Adjust the direction of torch so that the patches of light falls on another friends standing in the room. This activity suggests that a mirror changes the directions of light that falls in it. Here's an activities that shows a light traveling along straight lines and getting reflected from a mirror. Fix a combo on a side of large thermocol sheet and fix the mirror on the other side as shown in figure 8.9. Spread a dark color sheet of paper between the mirror and the combs. Keep this in the sunlight or send a beam of light from a torch through the comb. What do you observe? Do you get a pattern similar to that shown in figure 8.9? This activities give us an idea of the manner in which light travels and gets reflected from a mirror. Lumens, mirror, optical, phenol, camera, reflection, shadow, translucent and transparent. Opaque objects do not allow the light to pass through them. Transparent objects allow light to pass through them and we can see through these objects clearly. Translucent object allows light to pass through them partially. Shadows are found when an opaque object comes in the path of light. Phenol camera can be made with a simple material and can be used to image sun and brightly its object. Light travels straight line. Mirror reflections give us a clear images. Rearrange the boxes given below to make a sentence that helps us under opaque object. Yeah, बिल्कुल.